All right, let's get right to it. We've got a special security brief for you today. We're diving into a brand new threat that's popping up right where AI and cybersecurity crash into each other, and it's targeting the digital assistants so many of us are starting to lean on. So, start with this. It's a pretty chilling thought, right? What if you ask your AI for help, but it's not really listening to you? What if it's secretly taking orders from someone else, an attacker? Well, that exact scenario is quickly becoming one of the biggest challenges in AI security.
And that risk, that very real possibility, is exactly why a major security update has just been rolled out for the big AI browser agents. You know, the assistants that can literally click, type, and navigate the web on your behalf. This wasn't just a routine update. It was pushed out urgently after a whole new class of attacks was discovered.
Okay, so let's break this down. To really get why this update is so important, we have to understand what we're up against. What is this threat exactly, and how does it actually work?
The threat has a name. It's called prompt injection. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a form of digital hypnotism for an AI. An attacker can hide malicious commands deep inside content, like an email or a website that your AI assistant is going to read. And when it does, bam, the AI gets tricked, ditches what you asked it to do, and starts following the attacker's orders instead.
Now this gets even scarier when you're talking about these browser agents. Why? Because their whole job is to roam the entire internet for you. And that means the number of places an attack can come from is just massive. A malicious prompt could be hiding anywhere, in a random email, a shared doc, you name it.
To make this super concrete, here's a real-world example that security teams actually found. So it starts simply. You ask your AI, hey, can you draft an out-of-office reply for me? To do that, it starts scanning your inbox. But then it opens an email that has a hidden malicious command buried inside. The AI is hijacked. It completely forgets about your request. And then it follows the attacker's new command, sending a resignation email to your CEO from your account. And yeah, that's bad. But just imagine if the hidden command was to steal your private data or, say, authorize a huge financial transaction.
Yeah, pretty scary stuff, right? So how in the world do you defend against a rogue AI? Well, it turns out the best defense is a pretty groundbreaking strategy. You have to fight AI with AI.
See, the old way of finding security flaws, hiring human testers to try and break things, it just can't keep up anymore. Humans can only do so much. The new approach uses an automated AI attacker that literally works around the clock, 24/7, testing for weak spots on a massive scale, and finding these super complex attacks that a person might never, ever spot.
So what makes this AI attacker such a game changer? Well, for one, it uses something called reinforcement learning. All that means is it learns from its own failures. Every time it messes up, it gets smarter and more effective. This lets it find these incredibly sophisticated attacks that can take hundreds of steps to pull off. And here's the kicker. As the AI models we use get more powerful, this defense system gets more powerful right along with them.
But look, this strategy isn't some magic bullet. It's not a one-and-done solution. What we're really seeing here is the beginning of a whole new kind of cyber arms race. This is going to be a long-term battle.
And security experts are being really direct about this. They say prompt injection is a persistent threat. It's a lot like email phishing scams, right? It's a problem that's going to require constant vigilance, not some one-time fix that makes it go away forever.
So if it can't be solved, how do you fight it? You fight it with a continuous cycle, what they call a rapid response loop. First, the friendly AI attacker discovers a new way to break in. Then, a new, stronger AI model is trained specifically to resist that kind of attack. Third, the whole defense system gets an upgrade. And finally, that newly hardened AI agent gets deployed to everybody. And this just keeps going, around and around.
The whole point of this system is to find and fix these vulnerabilities on the inside, before any bad actors out there can find them and use them as weapons. It's all about being proactive, about staying one step ahead in this crazy new arms race.
Okay, so that's all the work happening behind the scenes. But in this new world, we all have a part to play. So let's talk about some concrete things you can do to use these incredibly powerful tools a lot more safely. Here are 3 key safety recommendations. First off, if your AI doesn't need access to your signed-in accounts for a task, use a logged-out mode. Simple. Second, always, and I mean always, carefully review any action the agent asks you to confirm, especially if it involves sending an email or, buying something. And third, be specific. Give it clear, focused tasks. Avoid huge, vague commands like, just review all my emails and take whatever action is needed. That's just asking for trouble. The big takeaway here is this. As we bring AI deeper and deeper into our lives, the very nature of security is changing. The old defenses just aren't enough. In this new age, the single most effective defense against a malicious AI is a smarter, faster, and more vigilant AI fighting on our side.
And all of this brings us to a much, much bigger question, one that goes way beyond any single piece of technology or security patch. As these AI agents get more and more capable, more autonomous, how are we going to learn to build and, maybe more importantly, to verify our trust in them? That, right there, is the challenge ahead for all of us.